think he can pin him from here unless he gets that other arm looped. Ref's down taking a look. Cole Jackson on his back. Easton Johnson on top. 37 seconds left. Still taking a look. Cole doing a good job keeping that other shoulder up off the ground. Easton really working that now. He does have the arm looped, and it doesn't look good for Cole. Clock ticks down to 25 seconds. Cole doing everything he can do to get back to his stomach, and now does so. Cole will score. Easton will score 3 points for a near fall. That will put the score at 5-1 with the clock of 15 seconds. Cole doing an amazing job there of getting back to his stomach. Once Cole got that arm locked, I thought Easton was done for. Sorry, once Easton got the arm locked, I thought Cole was done for. But he was able to break that, get back to his stomach. Clock runs out. Score is going to be 5-1 to start the second period. Cole's going to win the toss. He's going to defer to the second round. Easton is going to choose a neutral start for the second period. Easton and Cole. Cole Jackson. Easton confident with his takedowns, chooses to start in an upright position for the second period. Probably not a bad choice if you've got the lead and you want to maintain some energy for that third and final period. It takes a lot of energy to, and Cole shoots in, misses. Easton able to spin that around, flip him around, get a 2-point takedown. So Easton Johnson scoring 2 more points off of a mistake by Cole Jackson. Didn't execute the double leg like he should have. Didn't go in to the full depth. Now with Cole on his stomach, Easton trying to work that half Nelson. Gets the half Nelson. Cole tries to swing to the other side. Gets over to his stomach. Cole Jackson now in a little bit of a predicament as he gets another 2-point near fall. Tries to get to his feet. Easton picks him up. Puts him back down on the mat. No point scored because Easton already had control. He did get another 2 points near fall, which is going to put the score at 9-1. Easton now getting Cole on his back. Ref down taking a look. Easton has the arms. Doesn't look good for Cole at this point with 50 seconds left. And that's probably going to do it. Ref still taking a look, doesn't see what he needs to see, and Cole's almost able to get back to his stomach. Now Easton sucks that back up harder, gets the other shoulder blade on his back. Ref down taking a look. 32 seconds left on the clock. I don't think he's going to be able to get out of this one as Cole is right on his back. Easton has the arm, he has the head. Easton is a little bit out of position there, and you see him move his leg now trying to get back in position. Hopefully Cole could take advantage of that, but can't, and he's going to end up getting pinned. So Cole Jackson getting pinned by Easton Johnson here halfway through, almost at the end of the second period. Another good wrestling match, another good JV wrestler.
For our girls varsity wrestling. So girls, be ready. It'll be quick.
One more match, and then we're going to move right into the girls varsity wrestling. Like I said, we got a full roster. It's going to be a good night of wrestling. Going to go now to Caleb Tolman, Charlie DeYoung. As we get into these heavier weights, you're going to see a little different style of wrestling. Doing a quick message there. Both wrestlers were on their feet. Ended up going out of bounds. Ref stopped him, brought him back to the center of the mat. 1:38 on the clock. Score 0-0. No points being scored yet. Both wrestlers still on their feet, still neutral. Watched a lot of good JV wrestling here so far tonight. Sometimes these JV wrestlers, it's kind of like watching college basketball. You see raw wrestling. Sometimes a little lack of technique, sometimes a little lack of finesse, but good wrestling nonetheless. Charlie DeYoung able to get a 2-point takedown on Caleb Tolman. So with 1 minute left, score is 2-0. Caleb's on the bottom, Charlie's on top. Working the tight waist, working the arm. Goes to a half Nelson from his hands and knees, almost puts Caleb on his back, and does for just a second, but very unconventional trying to do the half Nelson from a hands and knees stance. So some of that experience would not, you would not try that half Nelson from a hands and knees position. Like I talked to him a few minutes ago, sometimes this raw wrestling, lacking the finesse, pretty fun to watch. Caleb trying to get away, Charlie doing a good job staying behind him, keeping the arms and legs. As Charlie almost gets to his feet, as Caleb almost gets to his feet, Charlie takes him back down, flat on the mat, starting to work that reverse arm bar. Has the arm but doesn't have it perpendicular. Charlie tries to roll around. Caleb tries to roll over and get away from him. Can't do it. Caleb catches him, has the arm, has the head. Luckily, time runs out before Caleb was able to get pinned by Charlie DeYoung. Because Charlie had it, he had it locked up. If the clock hand ran out, it was only a matter of seconds before he was going to get pinned. So, fortunate to have that time run out. They'll start the second period on their feet. Score is still 5-0. Caleb Tolman, Charlie DeYoung. Still on their feet. Score is now 5-0 with the 2-point takedown and the 3-point near fall. Caleb has some time to make some points to make up. Both wrestlers still neutral on their feet. Time at 1:30, 5-0. Caleb Tolman, Charlie DeYoung. Caleb shoots in, gets the 2-point double leg takedown, pulls the 2 points with 1 minute left. Now starts working on the cradle. Got to get back behind him. Got to get that weight back behind him, or else Charlie's going to get up. Caleb way out of position. He's way too far forward. Caleb working that upper body, but Charlie's able to get to his feet because Caleb's out of position. Doesn't maintain the weight. Caleb's still out of position, too high. Charlie gets to his feet. Caleb does a good job with a tight waist, taking him back down, taking a lot of energy out of Charlie DeYoung. Now he gets behind him, gets his weight where it needs to be, but he's starting to do that half Nelson. Goes to a cradle from hands and knees, and that might just work for him. He has the arm, but Charlie's strength is able to break the grip. That does allow Caleb to get a 3-point near fall. We're tied at 5, 30 seconds left in the second period. Caleb getting a little bit out of position again. He gets over a little too high forward. Charlie takes advantage of that. Pulls his head from underneath. Gets a 2-point reversal. 7-5, 18 seconds left. Now Caleb is on his back. Charlie has the arm, has the head. Ref's down, taking a look. 10 seconds left. If Charlie can hold that, Caleb's got to get one of those shoulders up off the mat. And he looks spent, but he's doing a good job. 2 seconds left. Ref taking a look. Time's going to run out before he gets pinned. That is going to give him a 3-point near fall, so Charlie's going to be leading this match by a score of 10-5, starting the third and final period. But at least we're not pinned. Caleb was in bad shape there as time runs out. The good thing is Charlie looks very spent from trying to hold Caleb down, so this might work in Caleb's favor. They're going to start the second period with Caleb on the bottom, Charlie on top. Caleb looking a little spent as well, but he does need to get to his feet. He needs to get some reversal points. He needs to get things going. Charlie does a reverse arm bar, gets Caleb over on his back, the ref down taking a look, and now Charlie has that arm sucked up. Caleb is going to have to expend a lot of energy to try to get back to his stomach. Cannot do so, and he's going to end up getting pinned there with 1:35 left in the third period. Charlie DeYoung pinning Caleb Tolman from South Summit. Good match. A lot of good, inexperienced raw wrestling, like I told you. They're going to move directly into the girls' varsity wrestling. We're going to give them just a second to clean up the mat here, and ref's going to take a little break, and then we're going to go right into the girls' wrestling. We'll be back in just a moment. Okay, back here at the wrestles, we're going to get ready to start the girls' varsity matches here just momentarily. Have that up and running here for you. Trying to get things started a little earlier tonight with snowstorm rolling in. Trying to get these teams back to where they belong before the roads get bad. Always trying to make sure we have the acoustics right, make sure we have the volumes right, make sure we have the microphone right. So any suggestions and comments are always appreciated. You can text me. This is Dirk Rockhill. Tell me if I need to turn it up, turn it down, turn it sideways, whatever we need to do so that it increases and enhances this experience. One of the things we enjoy is being able to have the basketball games, the girls' basketball games, the wrestles available for anyone to watch, any place, anytime. That's one of the things that COVID did teach us, is to appreciate live events. It also taught us there is technology available to remotely watch all of these events as well. So a lot of good things came from the last couple of years, and this is one of them. Okay, we're going to get ready to start the girls wrestling here. We're going to dim down the lights. Isabella Bobrowski is going to be wrestling Jocelyn Bentley. Carolina Bowman, Brielle Fossen. Mikhail Creer, Macy Shukubu. Austin Bushel, Kalia Meyer. Isabella Bobrowski wrestles Allie Jensen. Mikhail Creer wrestling Lila Andrew. Austin Bushel wrestling Riley Clark. And Isabel Bobrowski wrestling Zabri McInnes. So it looks like the Grantsville team has a much larger team than the South Summit team, but the South Summit girls are all going to wrestle twice. Isabel is going to wrestle 3 times. So, I've said it before. I've announced the girls wrestling before, and, in the late 70s, wrestling freestyle, periodically there was a female wrestler. And most of the time they were not taken serious, and some of the male wrestlers would refuse to wrestle. So when they started the girls team, being an avid wrestler and loving wrestling, I was excited that we were expanding what wrestling we could have. I was a little worried about the capabilities of the girl wrestling team, but I'll tell you what, as I've watched them, they have the technique, and hats off to Coach Bushel. She has a valid, legitimate girls wrestling team. I'm so happy for the sport, because as you can see, we have a full, even though some of our girls are wrestling twice, we have a full roster of girls wrestling. This is amazing. This is great. This is one of the best things that's happened to the sport of wrestling. So, looking forward to that starting here in a moment. They are going to do introductions, just as they do the boys. They are going to have the spotlight, just as they do the boys. I'm going to turn the volume up, and hopefully you can hear the announcer as he announces, and you can experience some of what I'm experiencing.
To begin tonight, at 110, Isabella Bobrowski and Jocelyn Bentley. At 130, Carolina Bowman and Brielle Fossen. At 235, Mikhail Creer and Macy Shukubu. At 105, Austin Bushel and Kalia Meyer. All right, these next weights at 110 and 115, Isabella Bobrowski versus Allie Jensen. At 235 and 190, Mikhail Creer and Lila Andrew. At 105, Bobrowski and Zadri McInnes.
Okay, hopefully you heard those announcements. Hopefully that came through. Like I said before this started, I am absolutely excited for the sport of wrestling, that we have diversified and expanded girls varsity wrestling. Like I said, first time I watched, questioned whether we would have what this would turn into. Make no mistake about it, this is a legitimate wrestling team. These girls are here to wrestle because of the sport of wrestling. This is high school wrestling at its best. I couldn't be happier the way that wrestling has progressed into. Crowds are full, stands are full, cheerleaders are full, lights are down, ready to go. Isabella Bobrowski is going to be our first wrestler at 110-pound weight class, wrestling Jocelyn Bentley from Grantsville.
At 110 tonight, Isabella Bobrowski and
Isabel has 3 matches she's got to do tonight, so hopefully she makes quick work of the first one so she can rest up for the second and third. Ref brings them out. They're going to start on their feet, and ref's going to immediately award Jocelyn Bentley 1 point because Isabella had a bracelet on. You know, I'd like to see these refs just say, hey, you know what, take it off. But I guess rules are rules, and that's the way it's written. So score's going to be 1-0 before the clock even ticked off. So Isabel have some ground to make up against Jocelyn Bentley. Both wrestlers still on their feet. Jocelyn trying to get away as Jocelyn pulls in for the single leg, gets the 2-point takedown, goes to a standing cradle. Jocelyn links the arm, links the leg, puts Isabella on her back, ref down, taking a look, and Jocelyn has this thing locked up. She has the arm, she has the head, and unfortunately, we were hoping for a quick match because Isabella has 3 of them to wrestle, and it was a quick match, but not for Isabella's favor. So, Jocelyn Bentley making quick work of her wrestling match, and I got to tell you folks, that was textbook double leg. It was textbook standing cradle, textbook pin with about 30 seconds into the first period. We're now going to go to Carolina Bowman, Brielle Fossen. Carolina Bowman, Brielle Fossen from Grantsville. Carolina circling around, staying on her feet. Tying up now. Really getting aggressive. Like to see this aggressiveness with Carolina, especially after watching the last match. Jocelyn had the technique. Very experienced wrestler. And now Brielle shoots in for the single. She gets the leg. She gets it picked up. Can't get the takedown as Carolina does an amazing job of countering that single leg. Keeps the leg. Still no point scored until just now when Brielle is able to clear the arm and get the 2-point takedown. Is Carolina on the bottom now from hands and knees. Brielle trying to work the cradle. Carolina trying to get to her feet. Score is 2-0 with 1 minute left. Carolina on the bottom. Brielle Fossen on top. Carolina gets to her hands and knees. She's got to get that arm broke free before she can do anything. Rolls into a reversal, grabs the leg, can't quite get the 2 points scored as Brielle just follows her right around. Carolina now getting a little bit of Brielle getting out of position. Carolina taking advantage of it. She drops a single leg, goes to a double leg. Still hasn't awarded any points. There's 25 seconds left. Carolina does have to clear the head. Brielle does a good job now getting back around behind her, maintaining the control, stopping Carolina from scoring any points. Carolina now gets dangerously on her back as she tries to reach around and grab the leg. Not enough to score any points, but it did put her in jeopardy there for a minute. Brielle Fossen, Carolina Bowman. Carolina now working the half mitts, and she has the arm. Can't quite get it over the head as time runs out, and that's going to bring the first period to an end, score of 2-0. Carolina Bowman, Brielle Fossen. Brielle wins the toss. She defers. Carolina is going to start the second period neutral. Kind of wish Carolina would have taken the bottom there, tried to score some points, even this up real quick, but maybe we need to see Carolina get a 2-point takedown, so that'll start things over well. So score is 2-0 as we start the second period. Carolina Bowman, Brielle Fossen. from Grantsville. Carolina half-heartedly shoots in for a single, not enough to even get the leg looped. Brielle now working her way behind. If Carolina doesn't maintain that parallel line, she's going to lose the 2 points. She's got to keep moving. Brielle gets around behind her. She's going to get the 2-point takedown now. So the score is going to be 4-0 for Brielle Fossen. Brielle shoots a half from her hands and knees, trying to roll her over. Brielle's got it. Carolina's on her back. Brielle's got the half Nelson. She's got the head. Carolina does an excellent job of rolling through it through the other side, gets back to her stomach, loses 3 points on a near fall. Score is going to be 7-0, but Carolina doing an amazing job of keeping from getting pinned there. She's back on her hands and knees, back to her stomach. Brielle on top. Brielle working the upper body, getting a little bit out of position. I'd like to see Carolina take advantage of that, but Brielle's starting to work into a standing cradle. She gets the head, she gets the leg, but she can't pull them together to get her hands locked. Testament to the strength of Carolina right there. Carolina stretches out, breaks the grip, gets back to her stomach, is going to start over. Brielle, hard cross face, trying to get the reverse armbar. Can't do that. Tries to shoot for the half, can't do that. You can see the strength of Carolina here. She's a strong wrestler. 15 seconds left. She is behind by 7. But she's doing an amazing job here with a experienced Brielle Fossen. Carolina staying on her stomach. Clock ticks down to 5. Brielle working the arm, tries to walk it around, trying to get the 2-point near foul. Carolina follows her around, almost gets caught in a cradle, but time runs out before it happens. So they're going to come up. They're going to start the third period with Carolina on the bottom, Brielle on top. Both of these wrestlers a little winded. Score is 7-0 as we go into the third period, so Carolina's got a lot of wrestling to make up. She tries to sit out, can't do it. She tries to stand, can't do it. Brielle stays behind her, keeps the legs, keeps the weight right in the right spot. Shoots the half Nielsen, walks it around, gets Carolina on her back. Ref down taking a look. It's a hard half. She's got the arm, she's got the head, and Carolina's going to get pinned with 1:41 left in the third period. 2.5 excellent rounds of wrestling by Carolina Bowman, but is not able to pull through in the third period. A lot of good wrestling right there. We're now going to go to Mikkel Creer, Macy Chikwaba. Macy from Grantsville, Mikkel Creer, our South Summit wrestler. And immediately Mikkel gets after it, starts getting aggressive. Macy tries to do a duck under. Mikkel does a good job of keeping her from getting that. Both of these wrestlers now getting aggressive. Not something you normally see from this upper weight class. Mikkel and Macy really getting active here in the opening seconds of the first round. Both of them really getting aggressive. There she goes for the fireman. Mikkel's got the fireman carry. She has the legs, she has the arm. She's not able to score the points out of it. Macy stretches out, breaks that grip. Mikkel gets around behind her, gets the 2-point for the takedown. She's on top. Textbook fireman's carry. She had the arm, she had the leg. She shot in, she pulled her down. Macy did a good job of stretching out, breaking that grip. Mikkel doing an even better job of taking advantage of that and immediately switching into a duck under and roll over and got on top, got the 2-point. Now Mikkel working for that pin. She has the crossface, she has the arm. Mikkel still working on top. Macy doing a good job staying on her stomach. Mikkel really getting after this, and I got to tell you, I've seen a lot of good wrestling right there in the last few minutes. Mikkel does a hard armbar right on the back of Miss Macy's head, driving that face into the mat. That takes a lot of fire out of a wrestler when they get a hard cross face or a hard bar to the back. Mikkel just really a certain dominance as she's trying to work that upper body, and Macy really just stalling out there on the bottom, and I think the ref's going to have to either warn them or give them a point for Macy just stalling on the bottom. Macy trying to get to her hands and knees. Mikkel does a good job pulling that arm back. Breaks her back down to her stomach hard with that hard arm into the back. I got to tell you, Macy just realized she's in a wrestling match. Mikkel physically dominating this match with Macy Chikwaba. Time runs out in the first period. Unfortunately, Mikhail has only scored 2 points, but she has completely controlled and dominated this first round. So Mikhail's going to win the toss. She's going to choose to start the second round neutral, which from what I've seen so far is a great choice because Mikhail can pull off points from a standing position. Both wrestlers tie up in the center. What I'm hoping for is Mikhail hasn't expended too much energy. I know Macy's expended a lot of energy as Mikhail almost gets around behind her just from Macy being tired and not paying attention. Doesn't quite get the 2 points, but now Macy does a duck under. She flips the elbow. She goes underneath, almost gets the 2 points, but doesn't finish it. So score's still going to be 2-0 with 1:26 left in the second period. And Macy goes for a headlock. She has the head, but she doesn't have the arm. Mikhail does a good job of staying on her feet. Without that arm, the headlock doesn't work. You have to have the arm and the head. And Macy didn't have it. Mikhail stood her ground, kept her from scoring any points. Wrestlers still neutral with 1 minute left in the second period. Both on their feet, both getting very tired. Macy keeps trying to work into that headlock, but she's not getting the arm in there. You can see a little bit of inexperience there. You have to have the arm and the head for the headlock. Now Mikhail does the arm and the headlock. She has the head, she has the arm, but Macy is able to just overpower her. And now Mikhail's going to drive her to her back. Just essentially a bear hug. She turned the headlock into a bear hug, drove Macy to her back. I know it hurt Macy's knee because it buckled underneath and Macy really couldn't move as Mikhail pins her. An excellent job there by Mikhail. Really just strictly aggressiveness is what won that match for Mikhail. So get your breath caught, come back. We're now going to move right on to Austin Bushel, Koala Meyer. This is going to be a good match as both of these wrestlers really getting after it right off the bat. Two super aggressive girls right here. Both wrestlers on their feet, but both of these girls really getting after it. Austin shoots in for the single, can't get it. She has the single still tied up, but ref's going to stop him for potentially dangerous. As her knee was twisted, he's going to bring him back, start him in a neutral position because no points were scored. Good job there by Austin. Austin Bushel, Kalia Meyer. Austin tries to headlock. Kalia shoots right in, gets the double, drops it, goes to a single. Austin doing a good job of breaking that grip, gets the reverse armbar, starting to walk it around. She's getting Kayla on her back. And ref gets down, take a look, and she's going to win. She's going to pin her. Austin Bushel pins Kayla Meyer with 1 minute left in the first round. Two super aggressive wrestlers right there. And that just shows you the fire and the technique from Austin Bushel. Clean double leg. And this is something else you don't see in the boys' sport, is that kind of sportsmanship. That's pure sportsmanship right there. Heartfelt congratulations. So we're going to move on to Isabella Brabowski. This is her second match against Allie Jensen. Isabella Brabowski, Allie Jensen. Isabella, I think, is a little new to wrestling. She, watching the first match, there was a little bit of inexperience. Isabella immediately gets taken down by Allie on a double leg. Allie shoots in and gets textbook double leg. Allie now spins Isabella onto her back. Ref down taking a look. They are dangerously close to being out of bounds. I don't think Allie can pin her from here. And they're going to end up going out of bounds. Ref's going to give her the 3-point near fall. But luckily for Isabella, she was able to get out of bounds and not get pinned. The score is 5-0 with 1:30 left in the first round. Ref brings him back, puts Allie on top, Isabella on the bottom, and that's how they'll start again. Allie doing a good job of tying up that leg. You see her got that leg tied up. That is the first element of wrestling, is to keep control of those legs. Allie now gets the cradle. She gets the arm. She gets the leg. She gets the head, and she gets the pin. Textbook cradle. Allie Jensen defeats Isabella Brabowski with a pin and there was really nothing that Isabella could do with that, because she couldn't clear the arm, she couldn't clear the head, and it was a tight grip. That's textbook cradle. Textbook cradle, impossible to break. Sometimes it happens, but not very often. So we are going to move right into Mikkel Creer again. She only got just a moment of a break. And ref's going to say, hey, anyway, Coach Bushel is down there saying, hey, can you give us a minute? Mikkel trying to catch her breath. As soon as we get Mikkel done, we're going to watch Austin Bushel again, then we're going to watch Isabella again. So ref's going to say, hey, we're going to give him a minute. I think they're going to actually let Austin wrestle first because Austin, she's still ready to go. Testament to some of the conditioning here. Austin, she's asking if she can go. Mikkel does need a minute to catch her breath. So we're going to move on to Austin Bushel, Riley Clark. I want to watch Austin make quick work of this one as well. Unfortunately, Mikkel and Isabella are both going to have to come back again, so maybe Coach Bushel's down there telling Austin, drag this out a little bit, make this go a little longer. I need two girls that need a rest. They need to get some air. So we'll see how this goes. Another true sportsmanship right there. Both of these girls, a sportsmanship hug before going onto the mat to combat. So I tell you, I'm liking the girls wrestling as much or more than the boys wrestling because this is the true form. These girls are here out of desire, nothing else. And you can see it in their form. You can see it in their sportsmanship. They just want to wrestle. Austin almost gets a headlock there, which would have made quick work. She tries to go to the single leg / fireman's. Doesn't get it, backs out. Austin Bushel, Riley Clark. Riley doing a little better. Riley a lot more defensive wrestler than the last wrestler that Austin. Austin shoots in for the double. She drops to a single. She gets the leg. She gets her hand. Riley does a good job. Hard crossface. Best counter to a single leg is a hard crossface, and Riley just did it. Austin now getting on the bottom. Riley getting on top. Neither wrestler scoring any points. Riley now working to a cradle. She has the arm and the leg. She's trying to get those hands locked. Austin stretches out, breaks that grip. Gets to her hands and knees. Riley still trying to do the cradle. Austin doing a good job of not allowing her to get those hands locked. Riley now picks the ankle, trying to break Austin back down. Austin has the strength to stay on her hands and her knees. Riley not able to get around behind her. Austin doing an amazing counter job here of keeping Riley from scoring. She now still has the single. She's going to go to a standing leg. She's going to trip the leg. Does a perfect lift and throw. Is not able to score the points, though, as Riley is able to roll out from underneath her, get around behind her. Once Riley clears that leg, you'll see the ref awarding 2 points, but the ref is not going to award the 2 points until the leg's cleared. Riley does a hard crossface right there, you see. Austin has the leg. No points have been scored. Even though you see Riley on top with her head clear, she has not cleared the leg. Therefore, there's no points scored. Ref's going to stop him due to a stalemate, saying no wrestler can advance from this point. So we're going to come back to the center. We're going to start on our feet. Score 0-0, 11 seconds left. Starts them again. They're on their feet. They're circling. Both of these wrestlers tired. Austin more so than Riley, but this is her second match. Time's going to run out in the first period. That'll give her a chance to catch a little air. Riley wins the toss. She's going to start the second period down. Probably a good choice, considering that Austin is a little tired. She's planning on getting the 1 point escape. Immediately goes to her feet. Austin keeps her grip, trying to keep her from scoring. All Riley has to do is break that grip and she gets 1 point. Austin does an amazing job, takes her right back down, ties up the feet, trying to break her down. Still no points have been scored. Riley trying to get to her feet to get the escape. Austin goes to an almost cradle, but she does not get the arm locked and almost gets caught on her back. She does get Riley on her back for a minute, but neither wrestler score any points. Now Riley trying to come around. Austin doing a good job counteracting that. She keeps her body parallel, not allowing Riley to come around. Austin now working that tight waist from a headlong aspect. She's able to get Riley around on her back. She has the arm, she has the head. She's just got to suck it up a little tighter. 1 minute left. Ref's down, taking a look. Austin just needs to suck that arm up, and she can pull that pin. Ref lifts his hand, does a slap. Austin sucking it up harder. Ref down taking a look. Riley's on her back and now he gets it. Austin Bushel. Her second pin of the night. True form of wrestling right there. You don't see that in the boys. These girls are here to wrestle because they want to wrestle, and true sportsmanship. And I tell you, I'm excited for the future of this sport. Now we are going to go to Mikkel. Back to Mikkel Career and Lila Andrew. So we watched two amazing wrestling matches there from Austin Bushel. We've watched a lot of amazing wrestling matches, but two of those. We're now going to have a bye. Isabella says, you know what, I just can't do it. Isabella is going to concede to a bye. She just does not have the energy. She's already wrestled two matches. Not going to go out there for a third. Okay, Mikkel and Lila. This is going to be our final girls varsity wrestling match. Mikkel once again getting right aggressive right off the bat. She's driving Lila backwards. She has the strength. Mikkel doing a good job keeping control of that head. Mikkel backs out and she is going to do another hard drive. Gets the head. I think Mikkel's used to pretty much having her way, just using her own brute strength. She's trying to work to a headlock. She has the arm, she has the head, and she's just going to drive her over again, just like she did the last girl. She just drives her weight into her, forces her on her back. Lila doing a good job of getting to her stomach, but not before Mikkel gets 2 points on the takedown, 3 points on the near fall. Score will be 5-0 with 1 minute left in the first period. Just brute strength of Mikkel and a bear hug. Anytime any of these opponents try to do anything, you just watch Mikkel drive that weight into her. She gets her hands down low. She gets her weight down underneath them and just really tips them over on their back. I've watched the same thing twice here, almost identical moves. So Mikkel doing a good job of maintaining weight. I'd like to see her stay back here and tie those legs up. You always want to see those legs tied up. Just like she's done now. So now that she gets that one leg in between the other, really makes it hard for Lila to get up, makes it hard for Lila to do anything. Lila's getting to her hands and knees. Mikkel's going to chop that elbow, try to get the single arm bar. Mikkel really needs to do a tight waist, keep her back down on her stomach because Lila's going to try to go to her feet. Mikkel's going to try to go to a cradle, can't do that from here. Don't even try it. Lila trying to get to her feet. Mikkel really out of gas here. Mikkel needed that pin. Now Mikkel's going to go for that standing cradle. She gets the leg, she gets the arm, but she can't get both hands locked in order to get that. Now Lila is going to jump out, do essentially a sit-out. She's going to get the 2-point reversal. She's going to get the reverse arm bar, and now she's going to get Mikkel on her back, and that's going to be it. It really boils down to Mikkel being out of gas. And Mikkel really struggling to get some air there as coaches are going to come out for a minute. She's really out of gas. And Lila, another show of sportsmanship, wanting to be there and help her. But Mikkel really just needs to catch her breath here. We are going to take a minute. Mikkel really just physically exhausted from 2 wrestling matches, and we're going to probably... don't have the capability of turning the camera off for a minute, but she's not doing well for a second. Really just exhaustion. I don't think it's anything serious. But it might be a little bit messy there for a minute. But we've watched some excellent matches here tonight. The gym is completely silent, so I'm going to try to tone down my voice and make sure that I'm not overriding anything or being disrespectful. So Mikkel now is getting to an upright position. Oh, and she just exhausts. She just falls right back down. So we're just going to give her a minute to rest and catch her air, catch her breath. Exhausting match here for Mikkel. We're going to take a break for a minute. We're going to let her catch her breath. I'm going to sign out, and we're just going to take a break here for just 1 moment. Okay, we are able to get Mikkel to her feet. She's coming off the mat. They do the customary raise hand at the end of the match. So Mikkel Creer doing an amazing job here tonight. Just not able to pull off that second match like she did the first. She almost had that match right off the bat. I guess we are going to go to Isabella. Nope, they're going to do the other bye.
Move on to our boys varsity.
They're lining up like they're going to wrestle, but I don't see Isabella just yet. Oh, here she comes. So we're going to watch one more. Isabella Brabowski, Zabri McInnes. Zabri and Isabella. Isabella, this is her third match tonight, so a lot of good experience gained tonight by this girls wrestling team. I'm not sure what the ages of these girls are, but I will tell you this, and I've said it about 6 times tonight, I am excited for the future of this sport. I think this girls wrestling is going back to the true form of wrestling, true form of sportsmanship, because like college basketball or college football, they're here to play. They're not here for the money. They're not here for the prestige. They're here to wrestle. And that's what I'm seeing as I watch these girls wrestle over and over, the true sport of wrestling, what it's supposed to be. And I'm excited for the future of the sport. So here we go, Isabella and Zabri. Zabri going in, trying to do a bear hug / single leg. Isabella just doesn't have the experience. All she needs to do is get those arms in there, stretch those back legs out, and she can break that grip. But instead she goes for a crossface, which is a secondary counter. But she does keep that weight on Zabri, as you can see her just kind of forcing those shoulders down in. That makes it awful difficult for Zabri to do anything. Zabri's trying to do the lift. Isabel keeps forcing that weight down. It takes a lot of energy for Zabri to keep trying to maintain that leg. Really all Isabella's got to do is just keep driving her weight down, and that drives down Zabri. Zabri now goes to the, she still maintains the single. I thought she was going to a double. But see, now you can just see Zabri getting weak, and Isabella's weight takes her down and gets the 2 points for Isabella. So textbook counter there by Isabella. Instead of getting her arms in there and stretching out, she just rides it out. Wears down Zabri. Now Isabella does a hard crossface. That'll take the fire out of anybody. Isabella gets a little bit up on top of her. She gets out of position. You'd like to see Isabella come back around, keep that weight behind her. If Zabri had some experience, she'd grab that leg that's right in front of her, pull her head out. She got 2-point reversal. I need Isabella to stay back behind her, keep that weight back behind her, keep those legs tied up. Time's going to run out in the first period. Isabella's winning 2-0. Zabri's going to win the toss. She's going to defer. Isabella's going to choose to start neutral. So that's how we're going to start the second period. Isabella has a 2-point lead, and you can see Zabri right there. Zabri is tired, and that's a result of Isabella keeping that weight on her that entire first round, keeping that weight in the right spot, and Zabri just having to work 5 times harder than normal just to maintain neutral status. So Isabella doing a great job there. Zabri now trying to reach for that single. Isabella doing a good job of staying back. Isabella now shoots for the single. Now that is how you counter a single. You see Zabri push those hips down in, get those arms down in. That's how you counter a single leg. And now Zabri coming around behind her and gets a 2-point takedown. Isabella getting a little bit out of shape there. Isabella keeps on that upper body too much. She needs to get around behind him. She just needs to stay in position just a little better. Zabri now working up that body. Now you see Zabri working around. She's working for that cradle. She has almost got the leg. But there's where you see Isabella needs to be. You see Zabri gets her weight back in those hips. She gets the weight on top of Isabella, and Isabella can't really. Now Isabella has to work twice as hard to get up. That's how I want to see Isabella wrestling from here out, is get behind him, get that weight on him, make him work for it, just like Isabella's working for it now. Zabri still on top. She maintains those legs. This is textbook on top. Zabri has the legs tied up. She has the arms tied up. Really, Isabella can't do anything at this point because Zabri has complete control. She goes for the half Nilsson. She gets the arm threaded. She gets it over top of the head. She starts walking it around. She's not out of position, as you see here, as long as she keeps walking it around. Now she is. Now you see the leg being vulnerable. If Isabella could just grab that, she could pull herself back around. But Zabri gets it back around behind her before she can grab it. Clock's going to run out here in the second period with the score tied at 2. Now Zabri doing what Isabella was doing, kind of taking some of that fire out. She forces her head down into the mat, and that takes a lot of fire out. Zabri now saying something that she needs a medical timeout. She's got something wrong with her arms, her hands. This is in Isabella's favor. Isabella needs a breath. This is her third match. We've watched some amazing wrestling by Isabella. So she's over here able to catch her breath. Zabri has some kind of medical condition. She's talking about her hands. Her hands are tingling. Her arms are tingling. I think it's really just from being down on the mat and Isabella working those arms. I think it all stems from that first period when Isabel just rode her out and tired her out. Ref saying, come on, let's wrestle. Coach Bushel over there giving some last-minute instructions. Red is going to be on top. This is how we're going to start the third period. Red will be on top. Isabella's on the bottom, and this works out perfect because all Isabella needs to do is get an escape or a reversal. She goes into the lead. Zabri immediately picks the ankle, breaks her down, goes up to a crossface, starts working the arms, keeps her weight back there. Isabella is broke down flat. Now Zabri drives that forearm into the back of her head. Isabella going to her hands and knees. Isabella trying to go to her feet. Zabri tries to go to a standing cradle. All Isabella's got to do is roll her over, and she could turn this into a headlock, and she does. She breaks it. She gets Zabri on her back. She doesn't have the experience to pin her, but she had it there for a minute and would like to see 2-point escape, would like to see 2-point near fall, but he's not going to give it to her. Third period, 1:30 left. Isabella has a 2-point lead. I need Isabella to get back around behind her. I need Isabella to stay back on those hips, get those legs tied up. She's too far forward. Isabella working that upper body. She needs to work that that lower body. I need her to get back on those legs, get that weight proportion, make Zabri work for it. Isabella works towards the cradle. She has the arm. She has the head. Can't quite get the leg. Once again, hard crossface there by Isabella. But now I see Isabella moving back where she needs to be. She gets those hips back lined up. She gets that weight back where it needs to be. The only way to Zabri to score here is to get to her hands and knees, and as long as Isabella stays behind her, she can't. You see Isabella get out of shape a little bit. Zabri goes to her hands and knees. That opens it up for an escape. Isabella does a hard crossface trying to keep her down. 35 seconds left. Isabella's ahead 4-2. 30 seconds. Isabella's still way out of shape. She's still way too far forward. If Zabri ducks out from underneath her. Isabella now keeping the control of those arms. Zabri now grabs the leg, which is part of the downside of being out of place. 15 seconds left. Isabella just needs to run this crossface. She works a hard crossface the other way, but way out of position. Isabella trying to win this match. Zabri going to her feet, trying to get away. Isabella, luckily enough, keeps that enough weight on her that wears her down. Isabella Bowman wins her third match tonight. She lost the first two. So a lot of inexperience there, but Isabella has a bright future. Don't know what grade she's in, but I really liked watching some of that wrestling. She has the ability to really turn into a good wrestler. Want to thank all these girls tonight. You have just watched some true form wrestling, heart wrestling. That's what you watched there. You watched Michelle as she was throwing up because she was so exhausted. You watch Isabella take 2 losses, come back for a third match, wrestle all 3 rounds, and win it. When I talk about true form wrestling, you guys just watched it. You might want to save that YouTube video, and when you need a little bit of ambition or a little bit of motivation, you watch those girls wrestle. We're going to take another break here for just a second. They're going to do the announcements in the national anthem for the boys varsity. That is going to start right now. So we'll take just a couple minutes, and we'll be right back.
grateful for the seniors on our teams, boys and girls wrestling. We will begin tonight recognizing our first senior, Mikhail Creer, daughter of Julia Johnston and Neil Creer and Lori Snegative. Go out to the center. Get in the line. There you go. Good to see you walking. Our other senior wrestler, Austin Bushel, daughter of Shane and Brenda Bushel. Austin's grown up on the side of the mat. It's been fun to see her take the center mat. Thank you and congratulations to both of these seniors. It's our first female wrestling team, and they've been great leaders on this team. Thank you to them and their parents. Next, we'll recognize our male wrestlers. Our first, Regan Boger, son of Jeremiah and Brooke Boger. Next, we've got Juan Ramirez, son of Andres and Manuela Ramirez. And finally, Gavin Ross, son of Darren and Jennifer Ross. We want to congratulate these seniors. Many years of commitment and dedication to wrestling and to this program and to this school. Thank you. And thank you to you parents for the time and commitment as well. We will now prepare for the opening. We will prepare for the national anthem and lineups. At this time, we would like the audience to please rise while our cheerleaders present the flag and sing along with the national anthem.
Okay, we have had the national anthem. We have had the senior night. This is the final home wrestling match. South Summit and Grantsville. So we had our senior appreciation night with their parents, both boys and girls. Austin Bushel and Michelle Crayer being seniors. And then we watched the boys, Gavin Ross. We'll have to go back through and look at what those names were that were seniors.
All right.
We're now going to have
our lineup tonight.
Our lineup.
First, beginning at 106, Rylan Teeples and Pierre O'Riordan.
Ryan Teeples, Pierre O'Riordan.
At 113, Bryce Pulver and Evan Craner.
Bryce Pulver, Evan Craner.
At 120, Gunnar Klinger and a forfeit.